Alright, we're back very quickly. You can see I've taken a little bit of a jump up into one of the steward's posts, waiting in the pits. You can see all the lovely cars out here. Let's have a different look. So we've got a couple Williams already, Alpine, Audi, McLaren. I don't believe qualifying is underway as of yet. It's a timer until qualifying. Anyway, that is our lovely alert that we have here. Australia, it's a very high-speed track. I'm going to go through all of these things before the session now. Australia's a very high-speed track. Very, very, very few low-speed corners. I'd only really say turn 3 is a low-speed corner. Because of that, you're going to really want to miss out corner cuts. So drivers will be on their best to try and avoid corner cuts. The problem though with this track is it's very easy to get corner cuts. So drivers will have to be trying their best, but they'll also be having to balance that with being quick. It's almost a little bit of a threading through anything possible. So it's going to be a very interesting race to see. Drivers will be maybe on the 1 stop or on the 2 stop. Who the hell's in the 3rd William? Well, this is my team. Who? You know, I actually need to know this. Shah, why are you in the Williams? You know that you're not in my team. All right. With that sorted out. Drivers should be in the correct seats. Right. After that, we have that. So we have Oosterlord already. We have, I think that's Man. You have Milo's. A couple of McLarens also already here. One of the Red Bulls. We've got both of the Montanes, both of the Alpines, both of the Williams, both of the McLarens, 3 of the McLarens. That's another anomaly that we'll have to sort out at some point. That's not to do with me though, so I'm fine. Nonetheless, we have about 2 more minutes till quali starts. So I'm just going to have to go and walk through the track overall and see how this goes. I'll have to sort that out. Are you ready? I'm ready. Right. I think, yes, 64 days since there was last an event like this in PA Simracing. Lots and lots of drivers here today. Both of the Astons, both of the Montanes. So both Astons, both Alpines, both McLarens. We've got already a Mercedes too. Qualifying now is underway. 10 minutes. No going backwards. I don't exactly know what's happened there. I think drivers might have forgotten some of the rules in this league. So here we go, into qualifying. No driver has passed the timing line of the first sector yet. Regardless, doesn't really matter. So, who the hell's in that? I have no clue. Also, my question is who's I have no clue. Whatever. We have all the drivers out right now. 13 drivers on track, which has been the most drivers in actually a rather large period of time. I believe there's still a few more to go as well, so that's going to be interesting. I'm also going to have to try and badger Beast to try and join in, because he's somehow ignored it, and Alan, who's in Canada, has woken up for this, and Beast still hasn't woken up. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so that's going to be a very interesting conversation with that. Anyway, here we go. Drivers are starting their laps. Some are interrupting others. Lily's found her way back into the pits, right? You got so many drivers just out there. Some having their nice clean amount of space, like Shuttinks. Some in certain situations of where they would probably prefer a bit more space. Let's have a focus on this team as well, Montaigne. They've, of course, won the last 2 championships, but a lot of the drivers have tended to leave. Weissai left in Season 2, but we managed to find a lovely replacement for just a world champion overall in Alan. But then you've also got some of the other drivers. Alan, I think, is on an out lap now, possibly a slightly failed hot lap. But let's see who's setting the times. TXH is setting the times, and he's going rapidly. TXH is now in the Ferrari, which is interesting because he's been in the Red Bull for the past 2 seasons in Season 2. He made his way from the Williams to Aston, now to Ferrari. Now what can he do with this Ferrari to the line? He is going to be the first to set a properly competitive time, if that isn't a corner cut. And if that isn't a corner cut. Anyway, to the line, let's see where he can put this lap, if it is valid. It isn't. I thought it would be a few cuts in Sector 3. Not ideal, but man is going not soothingly well anymore. Who the hell is in that Weissai? Weissai, you're not signed. What is happening with Weissai right now? That's going to be a rather interesting talk. Yeah, right. Yeah, you can't turn around TXH. Is Kraktev not signed? That's interesting. You should get Kraktev signed here. Kraktev needs to be signed here. Right now, as of the quickest times, there's not many. 14 cars on track. Weissai shouldn't be here, so that's strange. I don't know. Who are on laps? Alan is about probably to start his lap. So let's take a look on the Mercedes driver. He is last year's champion, and this year he's made the jump over to Mercedes from Alpine. He is going to be going for another win around Australia, as he did the last time around. But of course it's going to be a question of how quick can he be. That's a very strange place to slightly tap the wall. Weissai isn't signed, so I don't know what's going to happen. I swear. What the Sigma is going on? There's not even a Bolton Bison Steam anymore. You're replaced. Your team doesn't exist anymore, Weissai. So, okay. Well, I'm also shouting at Beast to get his big booty, let's just say that, onto here. Right. I'm just hoping that this doesn't displace anything. I don't think I can actually do this. Right. That's mildly annoying. But what's not mildly annoying is for these two. The Williams have both topped off P1 and P2 in this first qualifying session. Very interesting, because you see these two, they're not exactly recognised names, but one decently recognised name is Oosterlord, and he manages to put the car up to P2, a 1:17.1. Not a particularly quick time, especially not particularly quick when you have a look at the knockout time, at least the estimated knockout time, a 1:18.0, which has a sort of error range of about 0.3 seconds. Right now, the error range is looking a lot more like 3 seconds or 4 seconds, but that's just because drivers aren't able to get in lap times as of yet. If you want to have a look at who is setting the quick sectors, no one is. YSI is not on track anymore, which is going to be at least a reasonable thing. Driver need to get in the laps because we have flash qualifying as well, which will be another interesting thing to add here. Hookadaki losing it just through there. We've got so many drivers not able to get in the time, but one driver that is seeming to at least soon get in the time will be TXH. And I know drivers like TXH will be aiming for something akin to fastest lap of the session, which I think will be around a 1:15.6. Fastest lap overall will get you 1 point, 1 extra point. And again, qualifying points are completely different too. But even if you qualify in 8th, you can still get the fastest lap points and at least earn some on the board. Regardless of that, TXH is heading out. Into turn 1 will probably be down to 3rd, try and make it clean. It looks to be kept within the track limits, and he'll be at least willing it to be kept within the track limits. Australia is a terrible track for trying to keep it in the limits, because you have so many sort of very thin corners. You don't have a lot of space to work with. So he's going to be heading through up into turn 6, try and keep it. You've got a little bit of a dimple to try and keep it on track. It looks remarkably clean, and because of how clean it looks, it's a 27.2. Purple. Ferrari driver is absolutely flying. And he's just behind that Audi too. We can have a look at what the Audi's going to do soon enough. Let's hope that he can get this lap in though, for his sake and for entertainment's sake. Down into the last corner, it's a bit of a decline. He's going to keep it within the track limits just about. Now TXA just needs to keep it clean to the line, and he's going to be able to properly fight it out for pole position. Now let's see. To the line, get to DRS. He's going to try and slightly go in as well. That's what we saw last time. Let's see. TXH to the line. He tops the session. It's a 1:16.1. Of course, we also need to remember too, he'll be going through to fight for pole position. The previous pole position held by Yushi. It's a 1:15.941. But of course, it doesn't really matter at this point, because TXH starts the fastest lap with 1:16.1. Oosterlord does go to second with a 1:16.8. Many drivers actually not finding enough time to try and get through. Hookadaki, I don't know what this man is doing. Why is he lining up on the grid? I don't know. Anyway, Alan is going to go for his final lap now. Is it final lap or is he finishing the lap? Let's see. So finishing the lap. Oh, and he's just lost a load of time in sector 3. Just a little bit of amount of time. To the point of where he just about missed off. But he's still going to be fighting for pole position. Drivers are no longer going to be able to get in times, and that's just Maxi out. That's a very sort of unexpected thing to go and see. Maxi hasn't got in a lap time, but I think he's on a lap. So he should be okay if this is valid. But leaving it to the absolute last second is never good around Australia. So let's just hope for his sake that he can also get up into the top 10. Just realised how loud the Roblox audio was on YouTube. Right. Now let's see just Maxi. He's put in 2 yellow sectors. They're not good, especially the sector 2. But I think it should be enough to elevate him up to at least a top 10. So Red Bull driver in the white car, not the black car anymore. He goes P5, 117.1. Not fantastic, but it's not despicable. Didn't realise how loud my knuckles are. So, our top 10 of qualifying is TXH with a 116.152, Alan in second, just a tenth off, Usterlord 6/10 down, Max Verstappen, or Milos, in P4, 117.1, just Maxi, a 117.4, Malenios, a 117.7, and Agent Fretchen, I think that is, or Agent Monkey either. Agent Monkey, 118.0. GT Beast Boy, 118.7. Shah, 118.8. And Shutink, a 119.2. That's your top 10. And the bottom 3 that have been eliminated, Hookaducky, Lily, and Oars on. TXH put in a really fantastic time out there, I think. It's not the quickest that you'd really expect it to, but you wouldn't really expect him to be matching a lap records. So you've got 10 drivers now, each of them going on a little bit of a one-shot sort of versus qualifying, because that's right, we have flash qualifying. If you want to check out what it actually is, you can have a look at it. Well, we don't have flash qualifying yet, we have Q2 right now. Qualifying is going to be a lot longer, and the races are just generally going to be a lot longer than normal. Fair enough, TXH. But I mean, to be honest, a 115 would be fantastic anyway, but a 116.1, still a fantastic lap time, and you got ahead of Alan. I mean, Alan hasn't been practicing really, but yeah. This time, new rule, you can't finish laps after 0-0. It's a one-shot quali to determine the order for light flash quali. So this will be a very interesting one to then have a look at. All the drivers here at once. Some will want to go and get some clean space so they can concentrate a little bit better. Let's have a look. Drivers are on their laps, and they will most definitely be aiming for a lap quicker than a 118.0. In fact, they're going to be aiming to get the fastest lap of the session, which will be a 115.6 approximately. 115.6 would be quicker than last season's pole position time. Last season's pole position time being a 115.941, set by Yushi. Yushi, who isn't here today, he's no longer a driver for us here in PA Simracing, but we do have multiple amazing drivers that do. Drivers are getting to the end of their laps, and yeah, they're going to be trying to get there. GT Beast Boy won't get another lap in. I think that's pretty much going to be a confirmed exit for him. You have so many drivers going to the line, so many purple sectors, so many not purple. One driver that has gone double purple is Alan. But first of all, let's have a look at Uster. Uster goes up to third. Alan doesn't end up setting a time, I don't believe. That's going to be disappointment for all of these guys. And none of these guys are going to get in a lap because they can't even finish a lap after this point. After 0-0, no more laps. And right now, it's looking like an absolute rookie fest. Shuttings right on the bubble, managing to get in a lap. That's it. That is it, I believe. No more laps. Which means that all of the other drivers, which we thought would be battling out for pole, won't be battling out for pole. And Max Verstappen apparently is. That's unexpected. Yeah. Alan goes for his P1 on sectors. Ah, I see. That's interesting. Alright, people are completing laps now which aren't valid. Lister, your lap doesn't count. But regardless of that, we're going to be going through to Flash Quali. And it's 1v1. So first versus second, third versus fourth, fifth versus sixth, and seventh versus eighth. And all of those guys, whoever is best, will get a spot on the top four. So if, for example, Matt Verstappen gets ahead of Alan, he gets pole, and Alan's fifth. Sort of. Basically, the top four are decided by Flash qualifying. And then the bottom four are relegated down to have another battle themselves. So you have 4 1v1s and one big session. You see what I mean? This is going to be a longer qualifying session. Longer than your average 15 minutes. I mean, you've been here already for, I believe, 25 minutes. So, get ready, ladies and gentlemen, for a very interesting grid. And keep in mind, this is for points. So, drivers are battling this out for points on the chart. Regardless of that, though, this very much is going to be an interesting one. Pels, it's a very... I don't know why, but your mic is coming through very, like, strange. Like, I can't properly hear you, a bit glitched. Right, qualifying is up for now. I don't know, are we doing 5 minutes on the timer for something? Oh, lightning. You gonna say anything, or are you just gonna mute? Alan, I don't think you're P6 to P10. Am I not streaming on Discord? Oh, okay, that's interesting. Why can't I stream on Discord? I'll give you a second. Yeah, I can't share screen. That's weird. Alright, Alan, so basically you have it's flash qualifying. It's a different format of qualifying where the grid is decided in sort of different things. So, yeah, Lightning is apparently doing the screen sharing instead of me, so that's going to be interesting. Of course, on YouTube you'll be seeing my screen. For on the other screen you'll be seeing GT Beast Boys. GT Beast. Oh my gosh, I cannot speak. You'll be seeing Lightnings on Discord if you're there. Let's have a look at who's setting laps. This is setting some okay pace. I think it should be enough to... Oh, but it looks like a corner cut. I think... Right. We've got about a minute left. Let's see what times we'll be able to see. Why is Shah back out? To be honest, right, this is just a bit of a fighting over the scraps for the lower part of the grid, from P5 to P8, I believe. Half of the drivers here shouldn't really be that worried, and Shah shouldn't be driving. Okay, that's interesting. So flash qualifying is just a one-shot quali. With all drivers, okay. Ooh. TXH is the driver with our fastest lap of the session. It's a 1:16.1. So, that's interesting. But our pole sitter is Alan. And I also have to go... Alright, Beast apparently was making a banger. So... oh... he's going to be starting from the back of the grid. Person starting at the front of the grid, though, is Alan. So, that's the one interesting part. Our world champion has just taken P1 in Season 3. Which begs the question, is it going to be Alan dominating, or have we not seen some of the people which definitely would be challenging? Matt hasn't turned up. Matt 35 GTR hasn't lined up. Interesting. And right, just for all of you guys to know, for very much clarity, there is your bottom 5 of the top 10. P6 TXH, P7 Oosterlord, P8 Malinios, P9 Shah, P10 Agent Monkey. Verstappen is in second, who put in a fantastic lap in the flash qualifying rounds. Alan will be lining up on pole, but Alan has all of a sudden disappeared for a second. I don't know if it's to do with my VC on Discord, because for some reason I can't hear lightning very well either. My question is... oh my... Either of you are a bit loud. It is me, okay. Right. And also, where's Alan gone? That's one interesting part. Right, let's see if this works. Because apparently I have good connection, apparently. 26 laps, and not a sign of Alan. No, we're not ready. We're not ready. I don't know what on earth has happened to Alan. He'd just taken pole and he's disappeared. Beast, you can probably line up at the back of the grid. I think that's the main thing. Yeah, exactly. Where is Alan? Alan is in the stage part, so that's interesting. Is Beast lining up in pit lane, or is he lining up from the back of the grid? Oh, okay. My internet is just probably not happy. Okay, right. We'll just have to start with this. Slice out, and away we go. Max Verstappen, of course, getting the jump. Beast is going to have to wait for the sanction of getting all the cars past that pit lane. So the Williams car leads. Oh, but it's not. Is that... Let's see. One of them, I think it's just Maxi. Who on earth is in that Red Bull, actually? I have no clue. It is just Maxi leads. From TXH, Verstappen, who started in first but was on second on the grid slot, has fallen down to third. Black Bison driver leading continually out there to TXH. Beast is going to have to try and catch up and find a lot of time on those tyres because it's not looking extremely good for him. Manios is second, and that's a flip. I think that's a flip for Max Verstappen. He started right on first, and he got the good start, but now he's just down. He's going to fall back behind Beast as well. It was a fantastic start for that Williams driver, but just not enough. But what is enough is just Maxi. Maxi is making his way to the start-finish line to complete lap 1. We have no clue. It seems to be extremely strange to see who could actually win this one, because the previous winner happens to be Alan, who won by 42 seconds, but Alan isn't here. So it's going to be even more of a question to see who can win. Because right now, it's looking like a battle between Just Maxi and TXH, but it could go completely wrong because Oosterlord is just 2 seconds behind, and just behind him is Shah, and just behind him is Ajan, and just behind Ajan is Shuttinks, and just behind Shuttinks is Man. It's all bunched up, and it slightly breaks down further and further down the grid. But, oh my goodness, it is going to be an interesting one. And you don't want to miss it either. So I'd recommend you keep your eyes glued to this screen. Just Maxi, I think, has lost the lead to TXH. TXH, the person that set the fastest lap in qualifying, but did not start in pole. He started in 5th place. But regardless of... 6th place, actually. But regardless of that, he's going to try and get his way around, but he's not. Both these drivers are on medium tyres. Doesn't matter, though, because it's about who's the quickest. Someone's out in Sector 3. I don't know exactly what's happened there. I think it might have been an off for GT Beast Boy. It seems to be yes. Not a great thing for him to have that. Beast is able to start getting closer and closer to Hokuduki. Orzon still down there, and Max Verstappen, after a bit of a terrible start with the flip, it's not went his way completely. But something that is going his way is just Maxi, who's catching up to TXH. But TXH has got ahead. Sorry, it's the other way around. TXH is ahead of just Maxi, and now the Red Bull is going to be trying to follow the Ferrari down into the turns 9 and 10. It's a very quick left-right sequence. These two drivers are fantastic through here, but they just need to keep it stuck to the road. Don't go too wide, otherwise you'll lose a huge chunk of time. But right now it's TXH out there in the lead in the Ferrari. Oh, but it's a bit wide. That's going to be very detrimental if we went too wide, but luckily not so much. TXH making his way through the last few corners of the track. He will lead at the end of lap 3. Beast has made his way up further and further of the grid, down from P13 now up to P9, but you still have so many drivers to try and look at and get through. Man has managed to stay decently close to the lead, and he will be fighting Oosterlord for position into Sector 1. Agent has kept a fantastic position, but I think that's a corner cut for him, and I think he's, or some sort of loss of time, because he's fallen down. Which means that it's going to be a third place for Oosterlords as of now, as of current, but he's 5 seconds behind. These two are pretty safe from corner cuts, sort of, in a way. Oh, and TXH has just pulled a gap out there. It's just a huge gap to that Red Bull driver who we used to be very familiar with. There's a green flag. What happened there, though? Oh, it's Oosterlord. I think he's made a mistake, and that's Man up into P3. Very unexpected. Another Williams driver. Two very unexpected things going on in one singular race. He's now up into T3. TXH is pulling more and more of a gap to Maxi. TXH, the driver that set our fastest lap out of qualifying completely. It's, wow. Just a complete sort of washout now. Maxi got a fantastic jump past TXH, but TXH has just been supreme through all of it. Managed to get past, managed to draw a gap, but I think that might be closing as Maxi has managed to find some more pace compared to the Bahrain driver. But no, it's not. It's another 10th actually pulled out of him, and TXH is running away with this one. But someone that he is not exactly running away from is Beast. Beast is closing at a very small pace margin, but he is still gaining overall. But I think he's been overtaken by a couple drivers. That might be a corner cut for him. Beast, who started down in P13, now up to P8. He was up in P6, but he's now fallen down the order. That's very unfortunate for him. TXH has got a mistake, and that's Maxi up into the lead. Maxi, who started the race way down under, like the country, has now managed to make his way back right into the lead. TXH isn't even safe in P2. Man has managed to find his way. Oh, and oh gosh, that's a very lazy and not very nice slide to have. That's just Maxi in the lead, and that's Mananios on his second ever race. His only other race was Miami last season. He's found his way to P2, but he's going to be chased down more and more by TXH. Beast is up into P7. You've got a huge just field of cars heading down this area. It's a ridiculous amount. And, wow. And you've got some drivers further down, but everyone is within 46 seconds. Autumn will soon have to make way for blue flags, I believe, because he's just losing a bit too much time. But that's, Man, still comfortable in second. And that's just Maxi. Just Maxi, a driver that we've seen do fantastic jobs in qualifying, but not particularly in races a lot of the time. Not ever won a single race round in PA Simracing. He got a few podiums, but he's now leading by a really comfortable amount. One driver that has been catching is Beast, though, and Beast has caught up already by 3 seconds to Maxi, and he's going to get past Agent as well. Beast is slicing through the pack more and more, but it's not exactly going to be enough to catch up 12 seconds already. But Maxi is out here, and he has come here, and he has said, yes, I want a piece of that winning pie. TXH has got back past Man. Man is still up in P3 though. Beast is still in P4. Some drivers have shifted up and down more and more. Regardless of that though, just Maxi is out here leading still by just about 7 seconds or so. It's a fantastical lead from him. I'm not going to say too much though, because I don't want the commentator's curse to suddenly appear out of nowhere. But that's what I do have to say. Oosterlord is going and catching. I think Shah has been pushed down further and further. It looks like he's making more and more mistakes. He's got the absolute pace. He's got the outright pace, but he doesn't have the outright speed. He doesn't have the outright consistency. Someone that does have the outright consistency, though, is TXH. After his flip, he's recovered by already 2 seconds to Maxi. I mean, if you want to even look at it in this way, Maxi is doing laps in the 119s and TXH is doing laps in the 117s, low 117s in fact. TXH just found time and he's powered through it. He's managing to just do a fantastic job around here in Australia, the Ferrari driver. Drivers on the mediums will not be wanting to think about pit stops anytime soon. Beast on the mediums as well, but Man is on the softs and he'll be wanting to think about pitting maybe this lap or a little bit later, because those tyres are not going to hold to a long stint. Maxi still comfortable, but not comfortable, you know. He's got such a big lead, but the lead is coming down in chunks, lap by lap. TXH is just gnawing away, bit by bit, and the more you gnaw away, the more it crumbles, and the easier it is for the lap time to crumble away. And TXH is covering about 0.3 a second now, that's about a second a lap. And this driver, who claimed, who sort of came here and has proven how quick he can be, is now proving how quick he can be in race form. Mananios still actually up in second place. Shah finally actually finding some pace before, up into 4th, but Beast is finding a lot more pace than him. Beast up from 13th now to 4th, but he's going to have to try and catch up to Mananios because he's been pulling a fantastic job himself. TXH has been just magically closing the gap on these older tyres, and you can see Maxi just ahead as well. Is that a corner cut for the driver? I don't know exactly yet, but that gap has come down to 2.9 seconds. It's only going to be a matter of time until we see these two wheel to wheel, and I'm sure we'll see TXH sail ahead. But never say that too soon. Shah's fallen down the order. He was up in 4th, now he's down to 8th. He's going to have to try and claim back some more positions. Driver in car number 2 in the Haas will try and get back a few of those positions, but he's got some fantastic drivers ahead of him. They'll have to sail through. Hokodaki doing some interesting things. That's interesting, as I say. Beast is now up into P3, all the way from P13. Man has pulled a fantastic job through this entire period of time. But soon enough, he's going to have to be boxing because those soft tyres aren't going to be holding up any much longer. His last lap was on 124. I know it's probably a corner cut lap, but regardless, it's still not a lap that you want to be pulling out at all. Oosterlord is now catching up to him. This is now not time that you'd want to be enjoying. Regardless of that, just Maxi still in the lead from TXH, and TXH has actually been pulling a significant gap now to Maxi. He's been closing by a few tenths now, but nowhere near enough to, you know, go and say he will be sailing past. You saw it before when TXH was sailing through and catching Maxi at a fantastical pace. For now, not so much, and now TXH is getting closer and closer to, I think, the French driver? I have no clue. Let's see. No, RO. What? I'm going to have to search this up. Ah, Romania. So Bahrain driver is catching closer to the Romanian driver, while the British driver sits at a big distance of about 9 seconds away. 9 seconds can be covered up, and Beast has shown that he can keep on closing in more and more. Beast does have the second fastest lap, and he has been setting laps very similar to TXH's laps. And keep in mind, TXH's laps have been absolutely supreme and have been catching up to Maxi a significant amount of time, but Maxi has been pulling out more and more time. But that's interesting. Maxi with a 119, but TXH, I think, getting a corner cut that lap. Yes, it seems to be in Sector 3. He's fallen down by about another 2 seconds. It doesn't matter, though, because it seems he's caught right back up. Possibly another mistake, a bit of an oopsie for Maxi, but TXH is now even just probably about within a second of the Romanian driver. Yeah. 7/10 of a second, and Beast has caught again right up. Now 7 seconds. Just under 7 seconds from him to TXH, and just over 7 seconds from him to just Maxi. This, it seemed to be a little bit of a very interesting start. Calmed down just a bit, but now it's hossing up once again. Drivers are shifting all over the place. You've got drivers all very close to each other, drivers very far from each other, and drivers probably about to be lapped. Regardless of that, these drivers are going to be carrying on. And ideally as well, these guys are going to be trying to pull off a one-stop, which is why these guys have continued out on the medium tyres a bit longer than you would expect them to last, or expect them to even try and commit to. Normally the mediums tend to last about 13, 14 laps, if you really want to use them very well. But these drivers are just holding on to these tyres as long as they possibly can, just so they can get either a good last stint or get an undercut another car. Regardless of that, just Maxi is not looking very secure out there. By not secure, I mean 2/10 is the gap between him and the Ferrari driver, and I think TXH might have just edged ahead. After a really disappointing flip, might this be the moment for the Bahrain driver to get ahead? It is. By 1/10 of a second, he's managed to make his way back up into the lead. So the lead has exchanged hands. Max Verstappen going then to Maxi, going then to TXH, going then back to Maxi, and now it's back to TXH. Driver that set the fastest lap in qualifying now happens to be the fastest on track. Something's happened to Beast. Something not very good, because he's fallen down by 12 seconds. That's it's not a great thing to happen. And these two seem to be really the only drivers actually in the fight. These two are going to be the ones that you see closer and closer to the end of the race. But keep in mind, yes, we have this front field of drivers encapsulated by about 11 seconds each. These two encapsulated by about 2/10 each, with just Maxi edging ahead. But if you look further down the grid, you have so many drivers encapsulated by only about 10 seconds or so. That's Shah making his first pit stop. First pit stop of the day made by Shah. He's going to be heading out the pits. But we've got Man all the way up to Agent. They're all within 9 seconds of each other. So you have Agent at 19 seconds. Shatink, I think, a bit further behind. Their time's not accurate enough. TXH again once ahead of Maxi. Maxi's got a bit of a problem there. He's 2 seconds off. What's happened to him? I think it's probably just a bit of an oopsie through the section. I don't think it's exactly been corner cut or anything like that, because he'd lose a fair about more time than that. But TXH, he's got 1 win in his career here in PA Simracing. He won out in the very first race of this league in Germany, in Hockenheim. He didn't take, I think he did take pole position here in Germany. And he's now going to try and get this one again. He's fought for so many wins over his career in PA Simracing. He fought for a win over in I'm trying to remember this actually, because I was part of this as well. He fought for a win. He won in Hockenheim. He fought greatly for a win in Mexico. Only 6/10 off, and he was only third. In fact, 6/10 off, but he was third from the leader. In fact, I was the leader. I was the one that won. I won by 3/10. He fought for victory very early on Silverstone in Season 1, and he had just been an amazing driver overall, this Ferrari man. In Season 2 as well, not attending a huge amount, but he did manage to go and fight consistently, at least in Canada, for a good enough win there. Regardless of that, this guy is looking very, very neat, very, very clean, and he's moved from team to team, and it now looks to be like his home. He's managed to find a bit of a groove now, and he's now going to try and absolutely get this win, because he didn't get this win before. This win, of course, previous winner around here was Alan. I don't even think TXH attended it last year. But he's now going to want to attend it. He has attended it this year, and he wants this win a lot. That's Ajan. And what's happened? He's boxed for new tyres, and he's going to be bringing those softs to the end of the race. Shah, that's another interesting one. He's now going to have to box again. So he's losing probably down to a minute now. He was looking so good in the first stages, running up in 4th place. But now Shah is just making too many mistakes. Ozon has made his way for TXH to get ahead. Soon enough, he'll also have to be making way for Just Maxi to lap him. It's not been an amazing race, but for the Aston Martin driver, but he will just have to try and make this one work. And that's Ozon onto the pits. He's got lots of wings in the pit lane. That's interesting. Doesn't matter though to TXH. I don't think so, because he's still got his front wing, and he's still going strong. He seems to have just absolutely... Oh, but that's a corner cut. Commentator's curse, may I say. He's come to this track and he's demonstrated that it is his. But he's not done this undisturbed, because he's also had Just Maxi right behind him, under the same umbrella of ownership of teams, still owned all by Vidkol, under the Audi, Red Bull, Ferrari umbrella. That's Shuttink making his only pit stop of the race, because I believe that most drivers will be trying to do a one-stop. But let's have a look now, because these guys are now going to want to go and probably try and box for new tyres, because their pace has deteriorated significantly. They're in the 119s and 118s. Again, it would pay off really to be on a set of hards right now, but the set of hards would have been so terrible at the start that you probably wouldn't get your groove in. Ignoring that point, what's going to happen this lap? It's going to be TXH staying out. What's going to happen to Maxi? Any of the drivers are going to try and do the undercuts, because it seems that there's a possibility to, but no, they're not. And so many drivers are going to just go and try and probably ring it out to the end to get fresh tyres, soft tyres at the end. I mean, it's an interesting point to really think about this, because the tyre drop-off in this game actually doesn't tend to be terrible. So if you have a lap older tyres, you can get an undercut on somebody, but you can get ahead, but you can stay ahead. They don't have the tyre delta at the end, because drop-off isn't that terrible. I think Ozon's out of this one. Very sad thing for the Aston Martin driver, but I think that's just how it's going to be. Hokuducky and GTB Spoy are both fighting it out right in the bottom parts of the grid. They're not even fighting for points, but they're going to be fighting to try and get back up into the points. Shah and Max Verstappen are both fighting out for the lead, but who's that? I think someone's just come out the pits. I think that's... if I'm correct, that's... I have no clue. You know, I haven't been paying a huge amount of attention to this stuff. That's TXH into the pits, though. That's just Maxi getting into the pits. And that's Beast into the pits. So many drivers picking lap 17 to be the lap which they make a stop. All these drivers going and stopping over for the soft tyre. It's so important to go and get at least fresh softs for the end, because you're going to be so much quicker and so much more consistent. Ooster has decided to stay out though, and he is going to be right in it, but he's not going to be right in it. The tyres will not be there. These guys have decided to hang it out a little bit of time, but Man has already made a pit stop. Starting on the soft tyre, now on the medium tyre. He's managed to go and get a nice gap on these guys. Ooster, I don't believe, has made a pit stop yet. So he'll get position on Ooster and will at least try and secure himself a 4th place. But someone that isn't in 4th place is TXH. He's in 1st place, and he's going to try and claim this track to be his own. But Beast is also right behind, and he's going to also be trying to claim this because he hasn't ever sort of raced in this league before. And this will be his first race trying to make an impression on the crowd. See how they will view him. See how they will actually, you know, get up to him and see where his performances can be. He's the only remaining Mercedes driver in the race because Alan, who was our previous champion, who got pole position, didn't turn up for the race, which is rather unfortunate for him because his teammate Beast has pulled off a really nice drive to get himself up into P3. On the podium though, it goes TXH, Just Maxi, Beastiver. But Beastiver, he's gaining little bits of time, but he only has 8 laps to do so. He's going to be hoping some of these drivers make some sort of mistake, and he doesn't make that sort of mistake. Otherwise, it's probably not going to go his way, unless he manages to pick up some fantastic pace. But it looks like he's, rather than gaining tenths of a second each sector, he's maybe gaining a few thousandths. And that isn't enough to put a stamp on and say, this is my race win. The real thing that puts a stamp on is a decent lead, and that's what TXH has right now. He has a 2.144 second lead out to Just Maxi, and he's going to be extending it more and more, I believe. Because to the line, it's another half a second taken from Just Maxi, but that doesn't exactly matter. Does he set the fastest lap? No, his fastest lap was on the medium tyre. So it's interesting about not trying to push these tyres too soon, because these soft tyres still have to last, and these soft tyres don't like being pushed too much. Now down into the quick 910 chicane. This is going to be an important moment for TXH to nail, because this is the part where you can easily get corner cuts, but this is also the part where you can also get a huge benefit in carrying speed through. Maxi not actually losing a huge amount of time through Sector 2. Beast losing another 10th. Mercedes driver isn't making it clear what his target is in current. His last lap was his best, but it was invalid. TXH also has been just setting 10th better sectors every single lap. Ferrari seem to have struck gold, because this guy is managing to pull out a very nice performance. But it's not all clean right now, because Maxi has caught back up to 2.9 seconds behind. Beast is falling behind though, and although it was such a fantastic sort of start to the race, getting up all the positions and up into third, it's not fantastic anymore. Man, still in fourth, but I think that he's going to... Oh no, he's going to stick it out to the end of the race, because it would be pointless to go and box for a pair of soft tyres now. Got 6 laps left of this race, coming up to the end. I can hear on screen, I'm just cracking my knuckles, because why not? They need some cracking, but just Maxi. Well, that's interesting. Maxi's catching up bit by bit. Either he's pushing a little bit more on those tyres, or TXH is just not finding any groove. He liked the medium tyres a lot more. But Maxi's making minuscule gains, which may take a little bit away from this victory of his. If it does really maintain to be a victory, of course. We don't know. Because TXH, although he is demonstrating out here, we don't know if there's a victory. If he gets a corner cut, he's down to second. If he gets a flip, he's down to third. It's not going to be a fantastic time for him if he gets in any of these tussles. Lord has boxed for new tyres. He is going to be trying to catch right back up to Mananios, because his losses will ideally be covered up by the gains of the soft tyre. That's a bit wide though, that's interesting. But yeah, Mananios is in the 120s, and Lord, I think, will be in the 118s. So if he's getting 2 seconds a lap, he should be able to get back up into the lead. That's interesting though, because the gap is coming down, I will mention, from TX8 to just Maxi, and Beast is also closing the gap a little bit more, but the gap's just opened up in Sector 3. TX8 has just proven exactly why he wanted to be, but the gap hasn't closed for Beast. Beast is still pushing along, and Beast is trying as much as he can to go and push and push and push for a victory. But 6 seconds to cover in 4 laps is a big, big ask. It's not impossible. He's gonna have to rely though on some bad luck for the others, because TXH isn't gonna let this one go by himself. Maxi is not gonna let him go by himself. These two are either gonna have to make a big mistake, get a big bump, anything along those lines, to let Beast get past, because they are so desperate for this victory. Beast has so many other opportunities. These two really only tend to have a particular track of the season when the one driver doesn't competitively show up. Alan was meant to show up, he got pole position here, but it's not been a race for Alan because he didn't actually line up on the grid and continue. This is a real opportunity to go and win a race on proper speed and show how these two can honestly just get well. These two are close together, but Max is getting DRS on a back marker on her Kadaki, so he's going to be gaining up to the TXH a little bit from that. Beast's gap tends to be very, very variable. He's gaining and he's losing and he's pulling and he's pushing, but it's not enough to really get back any sort of gap. Sadly enough. Oh, and that's a Kadaki. He spun it just at the end of that section. That's going to be another position loss for him. It's not been a great race for him. He's been lapped, so has Lily. And Max Verstappen isn't too far away from that now, but there's only going to be 2 laps left. And TXH has led for a majority of those. This is the part that we watch for, because this is all about TXH trying to get this right. There are some bumps through this middle sector on the straight which can put you in the wall, or can wipe off some of your speed. And some of this speed can be very vital, you know, in this racing malarkey. But it looks like he's got through there cleanly. But it's not exactly clean on the lap times, because just Maxi is gaining and gaining and gaining. Beast is gaining bit by bit as well. But TXH looks just to be safe through this last stage. Let's do one quick reminder to the line. Last time out, our winner was Alan. He won by 42 seconds to P2, who just happened to be Thax. But Alan will not be winning today. Alan, who also happened to be our world champion, took pole position. But he didn't show up on the grid. It would have been a more interesting race, to be honest, to see where he would have come, to see if he did have the pace, to see if he would be able to show how absolutely fantastic he was. I think that's a good lucky out. Interesting. But it's a last lap, and that doesn't matter regardless. TXH has come here, though, in qualifying, and he set the fastest lap. In the race, he's once again set the fastest lap in race form. And now he's coming to the final corners. TXH, driver from Bahrain, he started his career in Williams, went to Aston, and then he went over to Red Bull. Finally, he's found his footing at Ferrari. He won at the very start. He won at round 1 of season 1 and hasn't found his footing since. But he now has found his footing. TXH wins the Australian Grand Prix. And by a decent margin too. Maxi comes home for another Red Bull podium. He's found many podiums at this team. And Beast in third. 9.7 seconds off. 3 different teams on the podium, which has been a common theme throughout this season. You don't tend to get too many 1-2s. The only 1-2s I think I seem to remember was Las Vegas, season 1, and France season 2. But it was a solid performance for Ustelord. Lost a lot of time, I think, on that first, and on the second stint he managed to find a bit of time. Mananios also found some very good footing through there. He comes 5th in a race that he himself thought that he wouldn't exactly do too well in. Shuttink comes home in 7th for on his debut. Shah, he's been a reserve driver through this season, and he comes home in 8th place. And that's GT Beast Boy, another driver straight promoted from D3 right the way back to 9th place. Verstappen had a fantastic qualifying. He effectively lined up on pole, if you disregard the fact that Alan, set pole but didn't turn up. He led for the first sector and then he flipped. It's been a bit of a rotten race for Milos, but regardless of that, it is points for him. This is your top 10, ladies and gentlemen, for the Australian Grand Prix. TXH, Just Maxi, Beast, 33 Ustelord, Man, Agent, Shuttinks, Shah, GT Beast Boy, and Max Verstappen. I'm just having a think quickly. Do we have what's the Sigma? I should take a little time now. Right, okay. I think I'm hoping that there's a place to pull in your car. Ideally, So not, that's a bit interesting. But regardless of anything being interesting, I mean, the result is interesting. That's one thing to think about. Yeah, no, Vital, don't even bother speaking. Like, my internet is terrible to the point of where I don't think the stream can hear you. Here. Usta that okay. There is your top 3 for your Australian Grand Prix. TXH getting his first win since Hockenheim Season 1. Just Maxi managing to claim another podium back in black at Red Bull. And Beast on debut catching a podium for Mercedes. A really interesting race to think about what could have happened. I mean, there's so many corner cuts that happened, so many flips that happened, and if those didn't happen, it would have been a completely different result. But that woulda, shoulda, woulda, it doesn't really matter. Because guess what has happened? It's been a win for the veteran, for TXH. Yeah, so I hope to see you guys next time out in round 2. I'll be driving in round 2, and someone else will be streaming, probably A350. So that's it. That is the race done. And that is the Australian Grand Prix. I hope you all enjoyed watching this one. I've been your commentator at Couples. I've also had terrible internet and I've been a bit sick. Ignoring all of that, it's been a fantastic race. Thank you guys all for watching on YouTube. And get ready for Silverstone, because that is round 2. Goodbye.